Okay, I'm gonna do this accent challenge. Sorry, you'll probably hear my dog bark. Well, we've got 4 dogs. 2 are mine, 2 are my sister's. The 2 that are, well, mine are kind of like my. One is a service dog for me and my sister, and one is my pet and her service dog, basically. Anyway, there's this list of words and it asks me to say them how I say. Oh wait, but before that, I'll tell you. Okay, I live in Lake Charles, Louisiana, which, yeah, that's Southwest Louisiana. So you'll probably hear a little bit of that accent in my voice. But my parents, they came from California. My mom was born and raised in Whittier, California, and my dad ended up moving there. But he was born up in Wisconsin, and he lived all over the United States because his father was a medical salesman, so they moved wherever they had to move for his father's job. And that means I really don't know where my accent comes from. Because of me being, oh, did I say I was born in Midland? I don't remember. Oh, yeah, I was born in Midland, Michigan. And I moved to Lake Charles, Louisiana when I was 5. So I probably have an accent that comes from all over the place. I've been told I basically either have no accent or are close to standard American. But, anyway, here are these words. Garage, herb, schedule, figure, jaguar, lieutenant, water, advertisement, vase. Okay, I go back and forth on this saying route or route, just depends. Ballet, tomato, leisure, address, 8, buoy, aluminum, ant, wash, oil, theater, iron, salmon. I go back and forth with this one too. I say caramel or caramel, either one. Fire, sure, data. Some people say data, but I say data. Ruin, crayon, toilet, New Orleans. Although I know as you get closer, they'll slip and say Nolans, but I say New Orleans. Not New Orleans, though. I say New Orleans. Pecan, although yes, down here I've heard people say pecan, but if you look up that, it's a fur-bearing North American animal. Oh, that's pecan, my sister says. Okay. Anyway, okay. Both, again, probably, spitting image, Alabama, lawyer, coupon, mayonnaise, syrup, pajamas, hot. Yes, I know people down here with syrup that say syrup too, but no, it's syrup if you ask me. So, questions here that ask, it says, what's it called to throw paper on a house? I would say TPing. I've heard some people call it rolling, but that was new. I had no idea what they meant. The first time I heard that, I was in Houston, and I was at a host's house that was hosting people for the choir. They had like 2 to 4 people staying at different houses, and I was very confused. And then I learned what it was when it's like, oh, TPing. What's the bug called that when you touch it, it rolls into a ball? I call it a roly-poly. Yeah, I know the official name is like a sow bug, I think. But I call it a roly-poly. Some people call them pill bugs, but no, it's a roly-poly. What do you call a bubbly carbonated drink? A Coke. By now I call it a Coke. I grew up calling it a soda, but people didn't understand what I meant when I called it a soda. They thought I wanted baking soda, so I started calling it Coke, and it's become a habit to call it a Coke. I mean, everything's Coke. It's funny because you go to restaurants that have Pepsi products, and you say you want a Coke, and they say, is Pepsi okay? You're like, oh, yes, yeah. What do you call gym shoes? I call them tennis shoes. I know some people call them sneakers, but I just call them tennis shoes. What do you say when you address a group? Hey, y'all. It might sometimes be a little silly and say, hey, you guys and stuff, but I usually say that for groups of dogs and people. I say, hey, y'all. What is a spider with an oval-shaped body and extremely long legs? A daddy long legs. That's the spider. Crane flies are not spiders, and crane flies are not giant mosquitoes either. The spider is a daddy long legs. What do you call your grandparents? I only have one living grandparent, but anyway, my maternal grandparents I called grandma and grandpa, and then that's what basically I would call my paternal ones too. But to differentiate them, we added their first names on after grandma and after grandpa. That's as it was. What is the wheeled contraption that you carry groceries in at the supermarket? I call it a cart. Some people call it a buggy, but I call it a cart. I remember being confused when people called it a buggy, and I was like, oh, okay, it's a cart. It says, what is it called when it's raining while the sun is shining? Oh, I remember there's some term for that. I never knew what it was, but I remember somebody said it, and then I remember no, oh, my sister saying, yeah, it's definitely, said sun shower, which I have heard people call it, but yeah, the devil is beating his wife. When I see it, it's like, oh, yeah, I know what they mean, but I don't know why they call it the devil's beating his wife. Yeah, I have no idea where that comes from. I'm looking it up right now. I find the etymology of like phrases and stuff really interesting because I always used to write those things, so I kind of know quite a few of them. They're always really, really interesting. There's some big thing here on Yahoo, but I don't understand. It says the etymology is the study of learned words, but we know that. This is from all over the world that are said when the sun shines in the rain. I mean, a sun shower obviously makes sense in a way because there's sun and shower, although it's not raining the sun. And I know I'm going on and on about this. Is really silly for me to do that. Let's see. It rains. The devil is. I don't get that one. The devil is beating his wife. Oh, excuse me. What? There's like, what do you call it? When I found this like dialect survey, and so it says like 34.29% call it sun shower. 0.04% call it the wolf is giving birth. 6.43% call it the devil is beating his wife. 0.16% call it a monkey's wedding. 0.15% call it a fox's wedding. 0.03% call it pineapple rain. 0.74% call it liquid sun. 55.15% say I have no expression or term for this. And then 3.02% say they have other. Yeah, I'm in the, I have no term or expression for this. I really didn't know any of the other stuff. Never heard of all that. And I really don't know why they call it that. There's someone's Snopes. Maybe they have something. I know it's been a ridiculous amount of time talking about this on this survey, so I'll check one more thing because I know somewhere to find some stuff, but I don't know if they let's see. Grandmother used the phrase. Somebody said supposed to represent the tears of the devil's wife, but I don't know why the devil would be in the sky. Somebody said mother used to say the devil is beating his wife over the head with a dishpan, and he said they're from East Tennessee. There's no, and some of them know, but one reference has an 1889 written citation. Mooney, Folk, Carolina Mountains. The devil is beating / whipping his wife. Said when it is raining and the sun is shining, producing a rainbow. Dictionary of Smoky Mountain English by Michael B. Montgomery and Joseph S. Hall, University of Tennessee Press, 2004, page 173. Okay, yeah, I'll move on to this, other thing. What am I, oh, yeah, what is the thing called that changes the TV channel? By now I call it a remote. I did grow up calling it a clicker a lot of times, but I don't know. I call it a remote. So there's the accent challenge. I just didn't really feel like taping my face or anything, so I did audio, and I'll put a visualization to it. Okay, bye.